What's up, guys? It's finally here. The game-changing 1.3 update has arrived. I know I'm a little bit late to the party, but I've just been having a blast playing the update. I've tried to live stream and record everything I've done so far, so there's definitely going to be a lot of content coming, but let's get right into the update. We'll start with the new vehicles. They added the LAV-25 to the US and the BRDM-2 to the Russians. They're really great vehicles. A lot of fun to use. Definitely not tanks or anything like that. Not going to be something you want to push into the point with. Definitely something you're going to want to use, you know, from afar. But definitely some great additions to the game. A lot of fun to play with. A lot of fun to use. They also go really well with the next edition, which is the helicopters. Not just any helicopters, we're talking offensive helicopters that you can fire rockets now. The MI8 and the Huey both have rockets now. It's an amazing addition to the game, so much fun to play with. Adds so much more depth to the game. Definitely gonna want to have the rockets and the LMGs ready. Definitely one of my favorite parts for sure of the update. Another great addition we have is the mortars, which are crazy. They are some pretty powerful things. It's really fun to see in action. Really scary to be on the receiving end of the mortars, that's for sure. But it's a great time. I really enjoy the flare mortars that you can fire too. They just are so bright, and it's just game changing for the night. It looks amazing. And to go with these great new explosive devices, we have building and tree destruction, which is just incredible. Adds a whole new level of gameplay, you know, when enough mortars, and it's really nice. You know, the buildings have a decent amount of health, so they're not just going to be crumbling from one or two RPG rounds, so you don't have to be worried about that. And it's really great not to be blowing up as much in the trees, because you know, most of the time the tree will just break. I mean, you'll still obviously blow up sometimes if you're hitting something way too fast, but for the most part, you can just crash right through those trees and keep on going, especially if you're in a larger vehicle like the LAV or the BTRs or BRDMs. So another great addition is both the transport vehicles for the US and the Russians. Their supplies have almost been tripled. They can now carry 1,500 supplies in the cargo, which is really great because it helps you get that rank even faster now, which you're gonna want to rank up because certain things are locked behind the rank now. You know, some of the vehicles have always been locked by rank, but now some weapons are locked by rank as well. So definitely gonna want to get that rank up as soon as possible. They've also added a transport and cargo van to the Russian side. The transport is capable of carrying 7 people or 2 people and 500 supplies, and the cargo variant is capable of 2 people and 800 supplies. They've also added a cargo variant to the civilian van, the Sarka 1203. There's also a civilian version of the Huey and MA8 helicopters, and those are the ones that now spawn on the map at the FIA bases. They've also added a FIA variant of the UAZ 452, the BTR, and the BTRM2. Now we're going to talk about some of the things they changed in conflict. I know a lot of these features have been requested, so starting off strong, we're going with the rank requirement system. So at the supply depot, people, you know, complain a lot about the arsenal spam, or people abusing the arsenal and just having really crazy kits. So now you are going to have to rank up if you're going to want to equip some of the advanced equipment, you know, like the snipers and the LMGs, which is a good thing. You know, so people are going to have to, you know, contribute. They're going to have to move supplies, which, you know, is not as bad either, because you know, the supply trucks now have 1,500 supplies, and you also get more points for defending bases and capturing bases and whatnot as well. Now the next big change for the conflict game mode is if the enemy is capturing a base, you're not going to be able to spawn there anymore, which is another good thing, you know, because if you do spawn there, most of the time the enemy is just going to be camping the spawns, and it's just not going to be fun. So now it's going to have to take some more tactic. You're going to have to go, from spawn another base, hopefully get some guys together in a vehicle and push over there. Also, it takes a lot longer to capture the bases now, so that gives people more time to, get over there, and they're not just going to capture it right away. Also, for each, it's really important to have the radio towers at each base now, because each additional radio tower connected to the base is how much longer it takes for the base to be captured. So the more radios you have attached to that base, the harder it's going to be for them to capture it from you, which gives you even more time, to get more guys on the point from other points. They've also added smaller conflict game modes, because a lot of people, complain that they can never finish a game, because sometimes these games do last for 6, even 8 hours. But now they have added smaller game modes, so there's northern conflict and southern conflict, which are just smaller portions of the map for you guys to fight over. Another really big change is the AI soldiers. So they are much more powerful. That you're not going to just be able to drive by. They can hit moving targets. They're very, very deadly with the RPG, so you're not going to want to drive in an LAV or a BTR or any kind of vehicle into a point that they have, because they'll just destroy you immediately. They're much more deadly, and they'll do all sorts of maneuvers now. Once under fire, they're going to seek cover. They're going to be returning fire and counter-attacking as well as flanking. So they're going to be much more of a challenge, and it's not going to be as much of a walk in the park as the beginning of the game usually is. Last but not least is a really great thing. People always complain that there's no single player, which there is single player. There's 2 combat ops scenarios already, and you can technically play the conflict single player as well. But they've added a new single player scenario, and that is the elimination scenario, or the assassination mission. So this is just a small little mission that they put together, where you have to take out a high-ranking Soviet officer in Regina, and you get some loadouts to pick from, and you can basically have your own little single player adventure. And I really think that's a really great addition, and I hope they add some more missions like that. It's always really fun to see what the devs can create. And that basically wraps up all the major additions. So if that's all you're interested in, feel free to head out now, because we're gonna go through the rest of the patch notes. We're not gonna go over everything, obviously, just because this was a major update. So if you're at all disappointed with what we've got, which I don't think you should be, but if you are, definitely go check out the patch notes, because there's just hundreds of bug fixes, and just they patch so many things, and just, yeah, the game's looking great. The weather's looking even better. The rain, I don't get as bad FPS drops. So quickly again, we'll run through the assets. There's the LAV, there's two variants, olive green and a camo. There is the BDRM2, which has the USSR and the FIA variants. There is the Huey gunship, the MIA gunship, US and Soviet mortars. Buildings can be destroyed, trees can be destroyed. The PKMN machine gun. Yeah, that's also a thing I forgot to talk about. They added the PKMN machine gun for the Soviet side, which is just a PKM with this scope mount. So now you can have a sight on the LMG, which is pretty deadly. There's also the civilian Mi-8 and the civilian Huey, the BTR. The FIA got a BTR. Multiple variants of the UAZ 452 Buchanka, cargo, transport, FIA, and civilian have been added. Cargo variants of the Sarka 1203. And also, for the FIA, they added the UK-59 forward time scope, which is really cool. Not a lot of people are talking about that. We'll check that out. They added vehicle light probes for selected vehicles. I also like on the BRM2 that you can the commander can turn the spotlight, which is really a nice feature. They can also turn out. You can turn out of the BTR, the BDRM2, and the LAV. Oh, another nice thing is they added a keybind to open and close the vehicle doors, so you don't always have to look at it if you want to close the door. For me on keyboard, that's Z. Another big feature is they took the bandages out of the arsenals. So now if you need bandages or medical equipment, there's bandages and tourniquets in the command tent. But if you want saline or morphine or any of the other medical equipment, you're gonna have to build a field hospital. They added some nice crew uniforms and helmets for the U.S. and Soviets. They also added a separate protractor for the Soviet side as well. They also added backblast damage, the RPG, and the M72 Law. Arsenal, has the rank lock certain items, get defined specific ranks. Perceived faction, this is another big one. So the game now knows if you are wearing the enemy's clothing, and your teammates will not get a team kill if they kill you while you're wearing the enemy clothing, as well as you will be punished if you kill the enemy while wearing their clothing. Another really great addition is they added a hand slot, so if your kit's completely full, you'll still be able to pick up things in your hand slot. Razor wire is now not deadly, but it will really cut you up. You got to be careful with it. So if you get caught in the razor wire, it's going to make you move a little bit slower while you're in it, and it's also going to damage you pretty badly. It can cut you up. Also, the muzzle blast of mortars too. So if you're standing in front of a mortar, while somebody shoots it off, you're going to either get damaged, you might get knocked out, or possibly even killed. So they've increased the penalty on leg damage. So, if you get damaged in the legs, you're going to be moving really slow with broken legs until they heal up again. They added that single player scenario, the elimination mission or assassination missions. They've also added Western Evron and Montiac conflict variants. They've added new effect modules to the Game Master system, so the GM can now place mortar strikes, smoke grenades, minefields, and flares. Another really great addition for the GMs that like to make scenarios, you can now set faction relationships for playable factions, so who's friendly to each other, who's hostile to each other. Also in the conflict mode, base capturing, so defending factions can't, deploy on the bases anymore. However, the capturing timer is a lot longer. The timer depends on how many radio towers are connected to the base. And then lots of stability and performance fixes, multiple performance improvements related to multi-threading, optimization, lots of crash fixes and bug fixes, just pages of crashes and fixes. Those are all the big things that I really wanted to talk about, but I've been having a great time. I think there's definitely some bugs and kinks that still need working out, but I think for the most part, this update has come out really solid, really been a blast, and I cannot wait to see what else they got in store for us. Hopefully, there'll be some patches or some hot fixes coming sometime soon, and the game will be running even smoother. But like I said, I haven't had that many issues, nothing super game breaking yet, so yeah, can't wait to get some more content out for you guys, and it's gonna be a great time. But until then, as always, God bless, and thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and check out some of my other content. Thank you so much.